you know, she's by your side and has your back when you're down, like her. But when you're up and happy and shining, she wants to bring you down.
Virtual reality.
Alexia Nepola, thanks so much for stopping by Virtual Reality. It's off to a great start so far this season of The Real Housewives of Miami.
When is it not?
That premiere was phenomenal. So much drama was packed into such a short amount of time.
Right.
How are you feeling about this season?
I feel like it's the best season ever.
Yeah.
I really do believe it's the best season ever. I think we're getting more comfortable with each other and just like, and we're just doing it better. And like, that's what it is. You guys also didn't see us for many months, you know, actually a year. I
it was
think.
way too long.
Yeah, which was way too young. So then when you bring us back, you know, you guys are missing us because we're that good. And it was a really strong premiere.
And that's the thing, I feel so much happened before you guys picked cameras back up, where of course like everything with you and Todd, and then also Larsa and Lisa, Julia and Gertie.
Yeah, all that stuff was happening.
Oh
That's
my
what
God,
happens.
yes. How was kind of like living through all of these like dramatic situations? You're like, no one wanted to film this right now. I'm like, you're kind of probably like, but,
yes, I was like, oh my God, thank God they're not here until they were here.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that hit you like a truck when the cameras came.
Watching the premiere, of course, I mean, you were living through all of it, but was there a moment of drama you weren't fully involved in that you were like, oh, this really shocked me? Like, what kind of shocked you the most from the premiere? Because I was taken aback by Julia and Gertie having issues, because I thought they were
Well, I knew it. You know, the thing is, I'm friends. You know, we're all friends.
Yeah.
And I happen to be friends with all the girls, so I'm pretty much informed of everything that's going on in the group. So I already knew that, you know, Julia was feeling a certain way about Gertie. You know, when Julia came back from that cruise that she was on, she was like, oh, you know, I don't like the way that, you know, Gertie treated me, you know, on the ship. But, you know, Gertie was also thinking that Julia wasn't very nice to her either, that, you know, Gertie, you know, did go for her and left her family back home to be with Julia. It's not between Julia and Gertie, it's all misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding, it's lack of communication, it's confusion, it's assuming something that really is not there. And, you know, I just feel like Julia, when we started filming, was going through a lot in her personal life. I think the adoption process was very stressful for her and Martina. And it was hard. And, you know, and the camera picks everything up.
Yeah.
You know, if that's what you're feeling at home and you have this pressure and you have all this, you're going to go out and you're going to take it out.
Right, and it's probably a tough thing to navigate the adoption process on a reality show, because there is such a weird legality to it where you can't discuss certain things, and then the government's checking in on you to make sure that you're taking care of the kids, and then it's this whole thing before they're officially adopted. So that was probably actually really tough for her to have that experience happening as cameras picked back up.
Yes.
Do you think that where do you think they went wrong though? If it was a misunderstanding between Gertie and Julia, like what was the issue? How could they have not gone through this experience? How could they have fixed it?
I can answer that for Larsa and Lisa. I can answer that for Gertie and Julia.
You just don't know.
It's like a Julia question because honestly, like I don't know. Like I listened to both sides. And, you know, Gertie doesn't really know where this came from. Like, she honestly doesn't know what happened. Because in Gertie's eyes, you know, they were friends.
Right.
But Julia wasn't feeling it or wasn't seeing it. I don't know why. So it's like a Julia question, really, because she hasn't told me that. But now looking at everything, I just think that she was going through, like, some emotional tough times at home with the adoption process and just, like, blending her family. And that's like tough, and I'm not giving her excuse to, you know, mistreat anybody. But you know, she was just, you know.
And it seems like the premiere brought up a lot of emotions, because now they are active on social media.
Who's they? Gertie and
Gertie
Julia?
and Julia. Well, I mean, everyone's kind of active.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
I mean, because Justin Bieber. I mean, so that's as long as she doesn't go like Kanye or Justin, I'm like, okay, you know.
Yeah, we can't handle that.
We can't handle that, and like Bravo would need to get involved.
Bravo would need to get involved. We need all hands on deck.
Yes, because that's not okay. I mean, I remember when we could not do this before. I mean, this is kind of crazy, and you know what? I don't know, and it's like that would give me anxiety that I knew I had to like prove myself to the world. But this is why reality TV is so scary right now, because it's like everybody weighs in into your life and gives an opinion, and people are haters, people are cruel. Like, I know what's coming to me. You know, it's just like, you know what, this is my life, and the fact that I get to share it with you, and this is so difficult, you should validate that, and you should honor that, and you should at least be nice.
Right.
Like, I don't care what your opinion is. Like, you can take an opinion, but it's not like, you don't have to go like so low and so nasty like a lot of people do.
Right.
And, you know,
Especially
and
when you're
that's
going
why
through
you don't
something,
want
too.
that. Especially when, you know, of course, yeah, I mean, Gertie and Julia's things is superficial. It's you know, it's not, you know, something personal like that. But yeah, I see what's going on. I don't like it.
And you were saying that a lot of people, because you were saying that you were getting a lot of hate. You opening up about your struggles with Todd, people have
No,
been?
not hate. So
Or
what I'm
just-
trying to say, no, with as far as Todd and I and the episodes, the first one, no, you know, the comments are whatever people think. The thing is, you only have one episode, 2 minutes. Like, you guys have to give people a chance. You know, you have to see the whole story. And by the way, you know, you guys only see like the highs and lows. You don't see the full story.
Yeah.
You know, that's not the full story. You know, my story with Todd is a love story, and like there's a lot of love involved.
Yeah.
So it's like, but you know, that's what you saw. I don't want to get.
Right. I'm sorry.
I said I was not crying today.
Yeah.
It's, it's hard. It's hard when it's on full display, and I'm sure there's even times where you're like, because you know how you've been in reality TV
Right.
for so long, you're like, I know what they're gonna say. I know how this is coming across, but if only you could like get on a pedestal and tell everybody
Right.
the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that you like I said, you don't see the full story. So you're just judging by that scene that you see for a couple of minutes,
Right.
and then everybody forms an opinion. And you know, when we started doing this years ago, there was no social media. So it was so much easier. We just had the blogs. So people, you know, would go, but as soon as you had like 30 comments, they would cut it off.
Right.
And if there were negative comments, Bravo would eliminate them. So it was all nice.
a
It was
different
all
landscape
nice.
now.
Maybe, you know, you didn't like one or two, but they were all nice.
Yeah.
And you got to explain yourself, and that's it. But now it's like you need to explain yourself to the entire world.
And also explain yourself to people who don't want to listen.
That too, or
Yeah.
have a different. So it's just gone like really, you know, really tough. I have the power and the capacity to just tune
it out.
all that noise out.
Yeah, there was one scene that really did break my heart in the premiere when you were talking about how you went in the early stages of your separation, when he decided to sort of sneakily move out of the house, and he did it in front of Frankie.
Yeah.
Have you had a discussion with him about that since? Because as a viewer
No,
and
he
someone
has,
who loves
yeah, of
Frankie so much,
course.
like, it just broke my heart.
Listen, no, I did. It broke my heart and all my friends' hearts too. And he's remorseful about that, and he just said, like, it didn't happen that way. You know, like, they made sure that like Frankie wasn't looking and that he didn't know what was going on. But you know, the thing we don't know, I mean, I know because I'm with Frankie 24/7, is how much Frankie knows.
Yeah.
Like, Frankie, since he can't express himself as well as we do, we never know. We underestimate what he knows. And he was the one that I knew there was something wrong when I got home, and I'm like, oh, where's Todd, whatever, and he's like, Mom, Todd's gone. And I was like, the way he said it, and he said it to me like twice, I ran to the room, to the closet. It's like something told me go, and that's what it was. He was trying to tell me that. So, you know, he is very sorry about that, because, you know, he will forever be sorry, because that's not, he wasn't, you know, trying to hurt Frankie or hurt me, but he just, you know, that was how he did it.
And you were saying earlier before we started filming that this is the first time you're watching Miami Housewives, because you used to not want to, and you wanted to tune it off. This is a very heavy season for you to start
Oof, of all
watching for the first
seasons,
time.
I know, but I'm like that. I'm like a masochist. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I was
But you know why I'm doing it? Because I need to remind myself where I was 17 months ago and where I am today.
Yeah. It's
I'm
a
doing it
testament
for
to your
me.
strength.
It's self-reflection. It's like seeing myself like so broken.
Yeah.
And even though I get emotional talking about it today, I am so much stronger. And so I need to watch that. I need to remind myself of that pain
At what
and
point?
turn that pain into purpose.
Yeah.
Right,
you know, for so
exactly.
many people, you know.
And it's also kind of incredible to see where you and Todd are today, given where you are in the early stages of filming this season. At what point did you realize, I feel like we should give this a second shot? What made you trust him again?
You know, it's a work in progress. And it wasn't one point. It was like 3 weeks, you know, after he filed for divorce, that he started calling me and he wanted to see me. So my birthday was May 3rd. Around that time, we were already like talking. I think he listened to my podcast that I did with Marisol where I like broke down. I think he did listen to that and he reached out to me and, we started talking, but we weren't, I feel like we never had the tools in our relationship. I don't want to say marriage because we were together for 9 years, even though we were only legally married for 2. I want to say that we didn't have like the tools and the coping skills to handle like not only a show like this, but like all the outside factors that were thrown out to us. I know it's easy to just blame the show. Oh, I hate the show. I don't want to be a part of the show. The show destroyed us or ruined us. But, that's not the case. He and I know like it's more than that.
Now that
we don't like, he doesn't like the show. We know that.
Yeah.
Now that you're back in a better place, does he regret filing for divorce?
We've had the conversation that he said like I know I'm gonna regret it someday.
Okay.
But we can always get married again.
That's true.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also, and I have like a smaller ceremony because I know you want like outside of the TV and everything like that. Just enjoy.
Yeah, you guys probably won't even know.
That's I like you. Yeah,
I
you
kind
were
of like
sneaky,
that
yeah.
little
Right.
secret wedding.
And I understand why he might be touch and go with the show because while you do have a lot of supporters on the show and your girls have your back, of course there's Adriana, who is not always the number one cheerleader for Alexia.
Right. Or for anyone for that matter. And you'll see that this season.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like she's by your side and has your back when you're down, like her. But when you're up and happy and shining, she wants to bring you down. So yeah, so I know that about her. It's a mixture of everything. It's like jealousy and envious. This season you'll be pleasantly surprised that she's nice to me, and because she knows that I'm down. So at least she has that, and that she was that. But she did cause a lot of problems. Obviously, it was so easy to say something like that, like, oh, Todd and Alexia are having marital problems because he didn't show up at the party.
Yeah.
So that was something that was easy to kind of like, if you have a little bit of psychology, to say something like that.
Right.
Right. And you know what? And it landed, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's not that she's right. It was just like, okay, if this guy didn't show up to the party, then maybe there are having problems or whatever. And that point, and that season we really didn't, but I felt like he, just wasn't happy. He just wasn't happy.
When it comes to Adriana and Julia, I never expected that they would get to a place where they don't even talk.
Me neither.
There was, there was that footage from filming towards the end of the season where they're really getting into it. It really shocked me because I felt like they were ride or die. When we talked to Marisol, she told us that she thought Adriana came into the season with a plan to come for Julia. What's your take on the situation?
Well, a lot of the girls, on our friend group, they're strategic. For me, that's too much work. This is reality TV. Like, they don't pay me enough for me to be strategizing. Okay, well, I move here and I do this, that, and the other. No. I am who I am, and that's what happens. And that's how my friendship with Julia has evolved, and like why we're such great friends. But like I said, on the other hand, there are women who like strategize when they don't have a storyline and whatnot. I didn't see it. Marisol saw it. I didn't see that coming, so I agree with you. But what I'm not going to do is get blamed, because I'm going to be blamed. I always get, tengo la culpa, it's my fault. So I'm not going to be blamed for that, because on the contrary, I'm good with Adriana, and I wanted everyone to be friends, even Marisol, that wasn't friendly with Julia. I got them to be friends. I wanted the 4 of us to be friends.
Oh, wow.
And that didn't happen because Adriana just, came in like after Marisol again. It's like she won't give up on her.
That's so weird. And but you said Marisol, she is not one to ever be empty-handed, and she might have some receipts at the ready.
She may, yeah.
Right. Also, you teased that Adriana has a song coming out. About what?
Well, she has a new song that she sings at the finale.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that I like her other songs, especially the Miami's Hot. That's my favorite. But this song I don't like so much.
Why not?
Because it's like about her dog.
Okay.
Yeah, and now she's like, I love my dog or something like that. And to me, that's not like music. Are you kidding? You couldn't say like, I don't know, I love my son. She has a son.
Or that boyfriend she
Or I love my Bobby. Well, no, J-Lo said that, so we can't.
Yep.
Wait, is she still with that guy at the premiere party? Because he was cute.
No. Like, are you kidding? Do you really guys? What? I
Wait,
can't.
Alexia, because people have been talking online about that. Tell me the truth. What's happening?
So we know she like brings like her fake boyfriends to film. Like, I'm telling
Now,
you the truth, bro. I'm like,
Fake
I'm telling you.
boyfriends, is that like phone a friend or is it like you can rent a friend?
Okay, this one I think she didn't rent because she couldn't afford him.
Okay, so
Okay.
she got a
He was
deal.
cute.
Right. I mean, if you like that kind of guy, I mean, he's cute. He's good for TV. I mean,
I thought he was pretty
brings in all
handsome.
these guys,
Yeah.
no, yeah. But you know, okay, I don't want to talk about the guy because he doesn't deserve for me to talk about it. And this is why the guys don't want to be a part of the show because we talk about them and they don't even get paid to be part of this. But you know what? I like her to bring a prop because it's, you know, that way she leaves me the alone.
That's true.
So I
Okay.
love her to bring her dog. That's super cute too.
But not cute
That's
enough to have a
why-
song written
Right.
after. It's like,
I love my prop.
I love my puppy. Yeah, but baby.
I love my puppy.
Yeah. And it could have been between Bobby and her pup. Or pup, right? So, you know, and I hate to like pick on her because she's been nice to me this season.
Yeah.
But you know what? You've been picking on me for the last 4 seasons. And, you know, you're probably secretly like happy that I'm going through this. No, I don't want to say that. Take that back. I don't think she's secretly happy. I don't think she's, you know, I don't want to think that honestly in my heart because I did see her a little different this season and you'll have to, with me.
yeah.
And we do have like those moments where
good then.
she's
Yeah.
sorry about a lot of things. So, you know,
Yeah.
hopefully you'll see that. I mean, like we haven't seen the whole season. So,
Yeah.
you know, I can't tell you much about that. But it was really sad to see her and Julia at the end. It's kind of like that was the last thing she had to do because she was like desperate, according to Marisol's strategic plan.
Yeah. Oh, that is so sad.
Because it makes me sad. Because like even the premiere makes me so sad with Lisa and Larsa. Because they are. I kept on thinking they were about to make up with each other, and then it went so left.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, now they're gonna make up, and it went so left. How left do
Yeah.
we go until it gets right again?
And you
Oh,
said
you're
there's
gonna
a
have
fix
to
though.
watch.
You said there's a fix. What would the fix be?
You know, it's highs and lows, just kind of like my relationship. It's kind of like highs and lows. One thing, oh, they're great. And then another minute, it's like, I hate them. It's the same thing. So with them, it's like the same thing. It's like, you know, they have one good week or like, you know, 2 or 3 good times they see each other and then they're bad again. Because, you know, the problem in this is just like you can apply this to everything is that the issue is never really resolved. It's kind of like we start fighting about other stuff and then that's the main focus and then we start disrespecting each other and there's never any like solution.
Do you think like their big issue is like they just feel like one another needs to be better friends to each other?
So Larsa claims that she's a better friend to Lisa than Lisa is to her.
Okay.
But like I tell Larsa, your definition of friendship might be different from Lisa's.
Oh.
And we kind of know that, you know. So it's, you know, Larsa takes her friends very serious. And if she shows up for you, she expects you to show up for her, which is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think Larsa was asking too much of Lisa. She was just telling Lisa, please unfollow Marcus, you know, and don't be going out with him and whatever, because you're my friend. You met him because of me.
Right.
So I totally agree with that. Just like my friends that are my friends that, you know, that maybe Todd met through me, why would they be following him and why would they be going out with him? Yeah, I would be pissed too.
And also in public where you know people are going to see it and run with it.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter who hurt who left who broke up with who. Like, that's like the silliest excuse. So it doesn't matter, was it a fake breakup or a real makeup or whatever it was. Right. It was. And that's your friend and you need to respect that. Yeah. And that's what I've been trying to, you know, to tell Lisa. And yeah, it doesn't make it right, you know, for Larsa to say certain things to Lisa that are mean. I don't like that either, especially when they're such good friends. You know, they were such good friends at, you know, at some point.
Do you think that Lisa was aware of how badly Marcus spoke about Larsa and to Larsa's friends? Do you think if she had had that piece of information, she would have made the
Larsa was
choice?
calling her and trying to tell her.
So she probably knew.
She had to know something.
Yeah,
I mean, Larsa was calling everyone. I mean, Larsa called me. She cried with me on the phone, how hurt she was and what she was going through. And she called Lisa before me, obviously, because the problem was with Lisa, not with me. She just called me to tell me about it.
Yeah.
And I even, you know, talked to Lisa about it too. But, you know, again, I think at that moment, you know, Lisa didn't pick up the phone. And by text, everything, you know, you can't, I don't text things like that. The tone, you don't know the tone.
Yeah.
and then just like everything gets messy and
And
misunderstood, and then they bring the receipt and the
Yeah.
screenshot.
None of that.
Look at
none
all
of
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the receipts in your head and your heart,
Yes.
right? As you said.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I don't have to bring a receipt because I don't lie. But I feel like when people are lying, then you have to bring the receipts. And you know what? I don't want to be in a friend group that I have to be like cautious that way and say, oh my God, you know, if I feel like texting you, you know, I miss you, like I love you, like let's get together for lunch. I know that if you're going to bring it out, I'm going to own it. And I'm going to say, you know what? Yeah, I did. Now I may hate you, but when I texted you that 2 months ago, I wanted to have lunch with you. I wanted to see you and I loved you. Today is a different story, but I'll own it.
Yeah.
But these girls, they don't want to own it.
That is why we always love when you come here to own it in person with us, because we just love
Yes.
talking to you, Alexia. We want to talk to you forever.
Oh, thank you. I love talking to you guys too.
Yeah,
Oh
thanks
my
for
God. We
stopping
can't
by.
wait to watch the rest of this season.
Yes.
It's gonna be good.
Yes, it's going to be great. It's just keeps on getting better and better every episode.